Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today, we're here live at the World Trade Center in Seattle. We're going to be talking about everything that is edibles today. It's day one at HempFest. I've got some amazing guests, starting with Devlin of Zoots. Dan is a co-founder of Zoots, maker of a handcrafted small batch treat made with premium infused cannabis paired with unique blends tailored to your interests, desires, and intentions. Their zootologists carefully extract the essential oil of the cannabis plant in a contaminant-free environment using their proprietary cypress extraction method. The closed-loop process captures THC using organic cane alcohol and a cold fusion process, so you can be assured that each serving is consistent. And while everyone experiences cannabis individually, Zoots is about having a good time without feeling uncomfortably stoned, which is what sets Zoots apart as a purveyor of fine cannabis edibles. And Zoots was recently acquired by Washington-based Ionic Brands for a total of $11.6 million. Ionic, with a market cap of about $16.5 million, trades on the Canadian Securities Exchange as IONC and on the over-the-counter OTC markets as IONKF. Dan, thanks for being here.
You bet. Glad to be.
Remotely with us is Bob Eschino with Incredibles. Bob is co-founder and president of Medically Correct, whose trusted brand, Incredibles, is known for having the most consistent and award-winning infused products in the cannabis industry. Bob is responsible for the company's sales, marketing, and national expansion. As founding member of the Edibles Council through Cannabis Business Alliance, the Colorado Cannabis Chamber of Commerce, and the Colorado Cannabis Manufacturers Association, Bob has helped shape the next wave of cannabis rules and regulations for the cannabis industry federal level. Medically Correct prides itself on helping educate the public about responsible edible consumption and the emerging cannabis industry. Bob, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And also remotely is Patrick Ian Moir of Edible Magazine. Patrick's the editor-in-chief of Edibles Magazine and the chief operations officer of Edibles List Manufacturing and Distribution. He started out as head dispatch at Speedweed and went from there to be working as a product development and marketing specialist at W Vapes. The edibleslist.com is a source for information and reviews on medical marijuana edibles, dispensaries, doctors, and all else in the legal cannabis community. Edibles Magazine is a source for credible and relevant news with everything related to the cannabis industry. Their mission is to help medical marijuana patients locate smokeless medication alternatives. They want to help get the medicine in the hands of the patients they need it. They connect patients, vendors, and dispensaries, and patients can now save time and money locating their favorite edibles and new consumable products while being able to rate and review, adding their valued option to our online community. Staying tuned for their best of Edibles List awards, and stay tuned for the topicals, tinctures, and other awards that they have. So Patrick Ian Moir, thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you so much.
I kind of want to talk to you about your expansion plans and what you're doing. I've always said that you can operate anywhere in the world, but you might want to look at having your headquarters in Canada so that you can file an IPO or RTO, but at least having an entity in Puerto Rico. Being a U.S. protected territory, Puerto Ricans are Americans, but they don't have congressional representation. And you remember in school, you can't have taxation without representation, which makes Puerto Rico the best place in the world for American CBD companies specifically, because there's a 4% corporate tax cap, a 50% tax credit, and in some cases, 100% tax deduction. Yeah. So in my opinion, those CBD, mom and pop brands will not be around unless they're in Puerto Rico taking advantage of those opportunities. And so I'm wondering if you're seeing an influx in companies looking at the benefits of having an entity in Puerto Rico utilizing Act 20, Act 22, Act 73, or Act 74.
Yeah, we're in the process of looking at it now because just what you said, 4%. And if you remember, I paid 80% last year. So, I do have a CBD company as well. The rules are you have to have somebody down there for, I think, 161 days out of the year. We've been strongly considering it, and now that we're actually open down in the Puerto Rican market, it's kind of raised its head again. There are some ways, right? There are some ways to put yourself in more favorable tax positions, and we're exploring all of those.
Neither of us are accountants, but if you were to go down there, you'd be a lot more tan, presumably. But would you be saving 76%?
No. Here's the catch, right? To get that money back into the U.S., you still have to pay taxes, right? So if you leave it down there, you can see that 4% tax rate. But I believe once you try to move it back into the U.S., I think that's a taxable event from what we're being told.
I don't think that's accurate. I think that no matter where you move to, that tax, you're not taxed in Puerto Rico. So if you work in North Korea, you work in Iran, you work in Cuba, you're going to be taxed no matter what. If you work in Puerto Rico, that's tax free. No American can be taxed working in Puerto Rico, even if you leave.
No, but if we tried to transfer from a Puerto Rican bank account into a U.S. bank account,
right?
We were told that was a taxable event at that point.
Interesting. Okay, we need to look into that a little bit further, though. I'm glad I brought that up.
Yeah, let me know. If you find out different information, I'd love to hear it.
100%. Next month, as a matter of fact, we're going to be doing our monthly podcast on the advantages of doing business in Puerto Rico. So I will definitely let you know.
Please.
So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge. I want to thank my guests. We have Bob Eschino with Incredibles. Also remotely is Patrick Ian Moir with Edibles List and Edibles Magazine. And also here is Dan Devlin with Zoots. Congratulations on the recent acquisition, by the way.
Thanks a lot for having us on and ability to talk about what we love, edibles.
So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.